today we are going to be talking about I've joined and now what do I do? We have a lot of new business partners that has been joining, going crazy. And I'm so excited for this rebuild. However, I want to give you guys some good tips on how to move forward in your business. We know that a lot of us, once we join Paparazzi, we kind of get stuck, right? And we don't know which way to go. If you have been in Paparazzi for a minute, 1, 2 years, 6 months, whatever it is, you can still use these tools. If you say, Mary, I've heard this already, guess what? It's time to hear it again, okay? Make sure you guys take notes because this can also be used for trainings for your teams. You guys, I say that all the time. And again, I just want us to get on good ground, a good footing. Even us redoing our business, I have even implemented a lot of these steps so that it can increase, my business as I'm moving forward as well. Sometimes we kind of get complacent, lazy, stagnant, right? And we kind of need that reboot. So let's get into it, okay? Once I am done, we will open it up for questions. But I'm going to do this first. I'm going to ask that you guys stay on mute. You can hold questions even in the comments until afterwards. I like amens and I like, yes, Myri, and yes, that's good. I like all of it. So please, in the comments, I like for y'all to respond to me. Give me that good energy. If you can, please be on camera. If you cannot, I totally get it and it's fine. I am recording on a different device so that I can upload this on YouTube without having to extract it from Zoom. Yay me! All right. Good morning, Melina. What's up? What's up? Hey, Lolita. All right. Look, I done had pre-workout. I done worked out at 5 o'clock this morning. I got all the energy and I got my coffee and I have my protein. So y'all just gonna get all this energy this morning, okay? So I joined, now what? First thing I want to say, some of you guys here have maybe joined just for the discount. And you say, Myri, I'm not trying to do all that. I just came in here because you told me that I can get this jewelry for $2.75 instead of $5. So I'm here, right? But what do I do? So if you are just joining for the discount, first you want to get acquainted with the back office, okay? I will try to insert some slides or a video for those who need, or a link for those who need help with that. There's a video already on that, and I will provide that to you guys. But just for recording purposes and editing, we'll get that, right? But I will show you guys, and post a link on how to navigate the back office. Also, you need to know how to buy jewelry, right? All you got to do is go click in your back office, click on home, and then go to new order. Once you click on new order, it's going to pop up a screen and you're going to see all this amazing jewelry. When you click add to cart, it will come up as $2.75 instead of $5. And this basically lets you know that you have access to this amazing Paparazzi portal full of wholesale jewelry, right? Also, there's a tab at the top that says resources. If you don't read anything else, what are you going to read? Can someone tell me? Policies and procedures. Someone called me just yesterday or over the weekend and they got, canceled because they did something that wasn't compliant. And although your intentions may be well, and you say, oh, I can do this, within the structure of multi-level marketing, there are rules and regulations to not only protect us, but the company, right? So you want to make sure that you know all of the do's and don'ts of what it is that you can and cannot do in Paparazzi, right? You can always highlight, take some notes, something that you may not agree with, and you can also email compliance if you have any questions. They only email. There's no one on the phone, but they do respond, okay? Also, how to get in contact with paparazzi. In your back office, there is a list of emails and phone numbers where you can contact them, whether you're trying to contact compliance, support, the events center, or just support to be able to, hey, this something's going on, how do I fix it? That is also the place where you will contact them if you are wanting to enroll in Fashion Fix. Okay, so you just want to make sure, I believe you can enroll for Fashion Fix in the back office too, but you can call them as well. Okay. If you're just joining for the discount, Fashion Fix is a great thing for you to sign up for. They give you 5 different trend blends. It is auto pay. It is also an option, so you don't have to worry about, do I have to be a part of Fashion Fix? No, but you definitely want to be a part because there's some exclusive stuff on there. But again, it is an option. Okay. Next, you want to make sure that you stay plugged in to your sponsor. Even though you don't want to sell jewelry right now, the option is still there. No matter what, whether you're just buying for yourself or for gifts or whatever the case may be, the fact that you are a consultant, you still have the opportunity to turn this into a business as you wish. So you just want to make sure that you stay in contact with your upline, and even, step your little foot in there to their training page just to see how we operate in business, to see if that is an option for you. Okay. If you have any other questions as far as that, please refer to your upline or hold questions until the end. Okay. Now we're going to get into the good and meaty part, right? We want to know, Myri, what in the world do I do? I'm trying to start a business. I'm trying to make this money. I'm trying to sell this $5 jewelry. What is it that I need to do, right? So first things first is, hold on, let me get my notes. Hold on. They went down. You need to know who your upline is, and not just know her name. That's your cousin, that's your auntie, that's your friend, that's someone that you just been following for a while. But call them. See why you wanted to submit under their leadership. Have a conversation with them so that you can see how both you can serve, or not serve them, but how they can serve you, and how both of you can use the knowledge that you have, whether you've been in an MLM or not, and how you guys can work together. Your upline is not your boss. Your upline cannot make you do anything. Your upline cannot force you to do anything. They are just there as a reference and a guide to help serve you. Now, granted, some people don't have uplines, but this is why it's important for you to know your lineage of uplines, because life happens sometimes. So just in case your direct upline, you can't get in touch with them, you can always go to the next person or the next person. And sometimes you got to keep going up to the next person until we find someone who is steady in their business. Now, I want to also say this, give your upline some grace, right? Life be happening. They're not perfect just because they have a team of however many, right? Sometimes we go through things and life happens. However, over here on TFF, we create a community so that no matter what, somebody's getting information from somewhere. And even with a think tank, if I'm not live, someone else is live, so that I'm not the face of it every single time. We are a community where we are helping each other to grow, and the responsibility isn't just on one person. Make sense? Also, come up with a business name. Use your creativity. What is it that you want the world to see? How is it that you want to show up on, with your business? Get creative. Write it down a couple of times. Call one of your friends and say, hey, what do you think about this? Getting, a couple of opinions. Now, keep in mind, when you are doing that, stay true to what you want and what you know. Okay, this is about you and your business. So coming up with the business name, right? And a logo, when you're thinking about a logo, think of color schemes. Think of, do you want a butterfly in it? Do you want a flower in it? Do you want a crown? Do you want jewels? Do you want a bling? Or whatever that best describes you, start thinking about that, right? Also, here's a huge one. What is your why? You signed up, it was on impulse, it was a great idea, but why are you doing this business? Some of us have been in this for 4 years and we still not acting like we have a why, right? And some of us need to revamp our why because it's not heavy enough to propel us to actually do what it is that we came to do in paparazzi, right? So make sure you establish your why. I don't even want to impose what it should sound or look like because it can be different things. Some of you guys maybe, just want to pay off a debt, right? Some people have come, paid off that debt, and left. Some people have came off that debt and then paid off everything else because they saw the potential of what it can do, right? So just determining what you want out of this business and why you're here. Because if you don't, you'll stop and you'll quit. That's just the reality of it, right? Then the next thing you need to know, how much money do you want to make? Is there a specific financial need that needs to be met? This can be bills, debt, savings, spending money, retirement. Yo, I just need some gas in my car, right? I know we see a lot of people in MLM and we're looking at the cars and the houses and the Gucci and all that kind of stuff. Let's start down here. Let's start with being able to buy eggs. Come on, right? Let gas. I know some of us, look, I've been there counting miles. How many? Yeah, I can't go there. How can we live a little bit more of a comfortable life, right? And what I love about this business is that eggs Lux is right. What I love about this business is this is a way to clock in hours without clocking in hours for someone else, right? For that extra money. Even if it's 2 to 3 hours a day, and we'll get into schedule. But that's what I love about this business is that we can generate income on our own for just those, some maybe small to other or big expenses to other, but whatever it is, paparazzi can pay for it, right? And that's why we're essentially here. How much time do you have? Girl, let me help you. Write down every hat that you wear. Mom, wife, 9 to 5, friend, caregiver, I'm a grandma, got to do this, whatever it is. Write down those big hats that we wear, and also write down how and when do I need to show up for those hats on a consistent basis. You want to start off what's consistent in your life first before you try to, oh yeah, I'm gonna work my business 5 times a day. Boo, no, you not. Okay, I've been in this business long enough to know that if you do not insert a schedule with paparazzi correctly, and realistically, you're going to drown. So thinking about all of these things even so far is going to help you basically put up borders, fail-proof your business, okay? So how much time do you have daily, weekly, or sometimes monthly? Some people do this for a habit and they're like, hey, I get the first Friday off of every month and I have an intense job. I just want something to do, or whatever the case may be. Or hey, weekly, this is what I have. I can work my business on Tuesdays and Saturdays from the hours of 1 to 3. Daily, I got about 2 hours. Some of us can implement it daily. It just depends on how much you actually want to do. I can bust out a 15-minute live on my lunch break every day. And then once you start doing it for 1 or 2 days and you start making $5 and $10, once you start seeing results, you will then change your schedule, because you're gonna be like, hold up, I went live and I made $60. How can I do this on Thursday? How can I do this on Sunday? But start light. Don't think that you got to jump in and have this schedule. I go live Tuesday through Saturday. and I do pre-records at basically 2 a days. Some people can't do that. I do this full time. However, don't base someone else's schedule upon yours and think you're not doing enough. You're trying to implement this into your life in a comfortable, realistic way. Pause, back up. It might not always be comfortable, because I'm not going to lie to you. When I was waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, getting on the train to sell my jewelry before I went to work, that wasn't uncomfortable. That wasn't just something that I just wanted to do. No. So you'll be able to determine how much you want to push yourself, but the goal is consistency. Okay. So make sure you write down your schedule and then see where you can realistically put paparazzi in a schedule. This is a little side note with this. If you are married and have children and have family, teenagers, whatever, it is really good. You don't have to do this, but it is really, really good to have a conversation with them before you even get started and start taking time away from the people who you love, right? Hey, this is something I'm trying to do. This is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm trying it out. This is what they said it can do, and I'm just trying to get my feet wet. I think if we have a healthy conversation, especially with our spouses, it will help us get the support that we need to be able to work our business. But if all they see is you just putting all your extra time that you barely had anyway without a true schedule into your work, I'm telling you, your family is going to hurt in the end, especially your kids. Because I'm telling you, the phone here all day and you trying to be in the trainings and you trying to be here. No, on Tuesdays, I watch trainings. And I'll go back to whatever trainings that I missed. But on Tuesdays, this is when I can do it. You know what I mean? Outside of the people who can't tap in every day. That's okay, right? So, also another question, what are your roadblocks? Let's talk about this, right? Or what are your potential roadblocks? Myri, I got 5 kids. That is a roadblock. That's a lot of responsibilities and time frames in your kid's schedule, and not that it's going to stop me, but it's a potential reason why we could start or stop our business or be able to create a flow. Our kids are sometimes inconsistent, right? Everything's great today, tomorrow it might not be great. You know what I mean? So being able to write that down and create a plan to move around this, to say, hey, honey, I go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I know we got the kids, but can you give me 2 hours so that I can work this, right? Or your job, your 9 to 5 job may be very demanding, right? All you're doing is creating a plan B. If this gets in my way, what is my next route? If this happens, how am I going to get around it? Let's talk about self-esteem and lack of confidence, because that is one of the biggest things that paralyzes us in our business when we first start. My business don't look like hers. I don't have, the jewelry like hers. My hair ain't like hers. And we have issues with showing up on social media. So we stop immediately, right? So we have to talk about that. And the good thing is to voice it and to talk about it, even in our community, so that for one, you know that you're not alone, right? 2, you have a community of men and women who are going to help hold you accountable and push you further than what you ever thought that you can be, in this business. I know many of us, by a raise of hands, have grown so much in even loving ourselves in the confidence. Like, y'all taking selfies, knowing darn well y'all wasn't taking selfies before back in the day, right? Like, you're going live in front of people. So being able to be around a community of men and women who are doing this and have mastered that way, when you come in with all of these roadblocks, you will be able to get through them, because you'll see how everyone else did too. But you have to voice it. If you haven't gone live yet, and that's a thing for you, and you're afraid to say it, you'll never get help or get the results that you want, because you can't even say it. Because here's the thing, the enemy wants to shut your mouth. He does not want you to confess these things. And he wants to tear you down in your mind about it. But once you say it out loud to me, you already know it's a wrap. I'm crushing everything that the enemy got assigned to you as much as I can. We're going to talk about it, right? What else? Procrastination. That all comes with, our scheduling and doing what we need to do. I deal with it too. I'm not telling y'all. You want to know how I came up with this? Because I had to fix myself. So I had to write down all these questions of how and why I am able to do what I do. And because some people look at me and they're like, Mari, well, you do this full time. Boo, some of y'all didn't know my story before I was doing this full time, right? That's another story for another time. But however, again, when you write these things down and you talk about it, even if you take your first 1, 2, 3 weeks to really get through these issues or roadblocks with your upline accountability partner so that you can excel. If you jump into the business and immediately think that everything's going to be fine, that's not always the case, right? We got to work through these things. Also, how do you want to be held accountable? Woo, can we put that word in the comments? Accountable. And not only how do we want to be held accountable, but at what level? Okay. One of the biggest things that I see in my new business partners, even what I'm experiencing right now, is they come and then they go. Okay. And I'm the type of person that I'm not going to hound you. I am not that MLM leader that is going to keep calling, well, what's going on? Or hey girl, I'm just not going to do that, because I want you to have space to deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with without the pressure of this new business that you got going on, right? But if you tell me in the beginning, hey, sometimes I will go ghost. I need you to be up in my face. You already know, Mariana gonna be all up in your face. But if you say, hey, I think I got this, we can check in on Mondays, then I know to hit you up on Mondays, right? But if you just go ghost, I just don't have it in me to chase people. And it's not that I don't care. I care about you enough for you to deal with what you need to deal with. And if you don't want to share that with me, to just give you that grace. And when you're ready, you come back. There's no attitudes or no issues or, Mary, I know I started and it's been 2 months. Come on back. Are you ready? Cool. Let's talk about it, right? So you want to make sure that you establish that with your upline so that they have that open communication and comfortability to have that open communication with you, okay? So you want to think about that. How do I want to be held accountable? Some of y'all is like, shoot me a text. Don't call me Mariana. You know what I mean? Or I got this. I've been in paparazzi. Don't add me to your team page. I don't want to. And I'm going to do whatever it is that you want. It is at that point where if you're not getting results, that you're going to have to decide in yourself to say, hey, I need to turn this up a notch. I need to, thank you, Lolita, is to get an accountability partner. Okay, you might find one here. Listen to what other questions that people are having, because you might be struggling with that too. That's a perfect idea to be like, hey, let's do this together. We have to use our community. That's why Think Tank is here, because you guys will never really be able to be in one room if it wasn't for this, because many of you are on different people's teams, right? So make sure you want to take some time and think about that. Establishing a reinvestment system plan. Now, a lot of customers come in, consultants come in and they want to buy a whole bunch of jewelry. Some of us did that and had no plan, right? We were just buying jewelry and it was like, where in the world did I get the money to do all this? We want to establish a good reinvestment plan. Taylor Kirby, and I'll plug his video in here or on the team page. Most of the things what I'm saying is for YouTube, but we'll plug that video in so that you guys can have that. It's an amazing system on how you can use what you have from your kit, whether it be the $99, $299, or $499 kit, on how to flip that jewelry and how to come up with a cycle to where you're able to buy more jewelry, pay yourself, and then have that, that cycle of where I'm able to pay my $20 bill that I need, and then I'm able also to have money to reinvest to get more, flipping it, getting it. It's like riding a bike, right? Now, if you sell all your jewelry and you're like, Mary, I sold all my 35 pieces, I was able to pay my car note, or I was able to pay whatever, excuse me, guess what's going to happen? Now you got to find money to reinvest again. Once you get started, that starter kit is to help you create a system of, this is what's going to make you money, but if you have discipline, you can take this much and do this, and then take that much and do that. Does that make sense? So once you see that video without me going into details, it's going to help you be able to get into a rhythm of paying what you need to pay, but also taking care of business expenses as well. Okay. Another thing is to sign up for different ways to take payment. Not so much different ways, because you don't want your money going to everywhere. I know that's one of the things that we like to do, sign up Venmo, Square, and PayPal, and Cash App. And it's like, whatever y'all got, I got. Yes, it's good to have that just in case if you are selling in-person vendor events. However, you want to make sure that that money all goes to the same account once you extract it, so that it's just not everywhere, right? So yeah, figuring out how you want to take payment and have a separate account away from your personal account, so that you're not making $20 and then spending it on gas because you got money in there when it really needs to be allotted for something else for your business. Okay. Also, next, do you want a e-commerce system? I suggest it. You got to ask yourself, do you want to run one? Okay. There's two major ones that we often talk about. First is Shopify. That's what I use. I love it. I am knee deep in it. There is a cost. My contribution to that, or my advice, is if you're not going to take the time to learn it and learn how to update it and create it and all of that, then you are going to have to pay someone to do it. Okay. So if that is not feasible for you, Shopify does cost $30 a month. It's great. I love it. However, there is another option. Paparazzi has done this amazing thing where they provide their own e-commerce system for their consultants. Whether you're new or an older consultant, it doesn't matter. It is great to manage your inventory. Okay, so whether you're selling online or in person, you want to make sure that you have a system where you can keep track of your items. You know how many are coming in, how many are going out. If someone, if you want to send an invoice, collecting your customers' information. Back in the day, we had stamps, pirate ship. We had what's the other one where you collect the names and the emails? Postable. We had all these different things where we're trying to collect information to be able to send out invoice just for them to sometimes pay it, sometimes not pay it, right? However, this system allows us to make it all smooth, so we can keep track of our customers. We can keep track of their information. They're not having to send their information via DM. That's a thing, because people can be scammed and things, people can be hacked into your DM and get this information. So for me, taking that business step of getting this secured e-commerce system, it helps in my, in my business. Now, this is not something that you have to do. This is an option. I have to remind you guys so that you don't feel like I have to do one of these. Now, will it be a little bit harder to keep track of everything? Yes. Can it be done? Yes. However, these are just tools that we have. Paparazzi has their own group, videos, YouTube on how to explain Paparazzi Premier, how it works. And we will include all of those links and information for you. Okay. Next, an organizing system. Okay, there's so many different ways that you can organize your jewelry. If you're starting off with small inventory, which is fine. Some of our top sellers used to sell out of a freaking little corner of a room, but they was flipping that jewelry, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to have a whole jewelry suite or a whole wall or whatever. There's so many different ways that you can organize your jewelry. Just so that you can keep track of it. And you're going to go through different organizing systems as your inventory grows. So for me, when I first started, I had the little 3-tier drawer, and I stacked 2 on top of each other, and one drawer was my gold, one drawer was my silver, one drawer was my colors, one drawer was my rings, one drawer was my bracelets, and so on and so forth, until I needed more baskets, because then now I got wood, and now I got this, and I got long necklaces, and I got all these different colors. So as you grow in your inventory, you will also grow in your organizing system. And trust me, those videos are going to come, and they're going to be great. That's going to be a part of our series on organizing, right? So these are just really, really good things that you want to think about as you're starting your business, and not just think about, but literally implement. This is what's going to help you and guide you on what to do when you are starting your paparazzi business and when you are rebuilding your business. Sometimes we have to go back to the foundation of rebuilding so that we can move forward. Some of us, we got to go back and fix some things. Some of us, we got to tweak our why. We got to tweak our schedule. I've tweaked my schedule several times. I've tweaked my why several times. It has evolved because now my hustle is, a little bit different. So I think this is good enough right now to start you guys off with. Of course, more information is going to come for you guys to, it's levels to this, right? But these are really, really, really good topics for you to really, think about and work on one-on-one with your sponsor, right? I ask that you just take some good notes, answer some of those questions we went over earlier, get with your upline and your accountability partner. There are a lot of newbies in our business platform. So you want to make sure that you get with someone using this space to do so. Just shoot them a little DM. Hey, you got an AP? Let's get this. Or can I be a part of your AP group? You know what I mean? Make sure that you guys have some of the same goals, some of the same visions that you're going towards. Okay, so I hope this has helped you guys. If you have any other questions, you can always put them in the comments.